And welcome back, family.
And we're back.
Yes, we are back.
Another
We never
week
really left, but we're here again.
of
This will
the
be a
family bloodline.
special edition Family Bloodline podcast, I believe.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, it's special edition.
I think it is because of the topic that we're going to be talking about. I think it penetrates
Mm.
multiple different levels, and just be honest, it's the only real topic we're going to be talking about tonight. We got a couple other things that we will be breezing through, but I think what we're going to be talking about is actually it deserves a time that we'll be able to dedicate to it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a huge thing if you
Jordan.
ask me. I think it's huge.
Yeah. What's up,
What's going on,
Trav?
Trey? Football, schmutball is coming,
Hi,
sir. It's
sir. That's my buddy right there.
coming. So
Really
yeah,
enjoy this conversation, sir. I really do. We might have to bring you on.
yeah, absolutely. We might have you hop on live with us to give your perspective on what we begin to talk about. But we'll introduce that in a little bit. We'll introduce that in a little bit. But before we do that, let's see how you've been doing this week, Wanda.
Uh, you know, I've been good. Hey, Manny.
Hey,
Abiel.
Thomas nailed himself not too long ago. What's up,
Oh,
Manny?
okay. No, my week been good. So, today's Friday. Um,
Yeah.
Normally Fridays at work are hectic. So I kind of made myself scarce. But like this afternoon, like this morning, I worked really hard. I was like, I'm gonna work so hard. And this afternoon, I'm not. So that's pretty much what happened. And like, yes, sir, I did take out my trash. It needs to be done again though, because I be cooking. So,
Oh,
yeah. Um, I stayed in one spot. Hey, Mike.
what's up,
Um,
MC?
I stayed in one spot at work, and everybody saw where I was, and nobody needed me. So I was like, I'm just stay right here. I was like, if I move, somebody gonna say they need me. So I just stood in one spot for 4 hours
For
and
4 hours?
randomly talked to people that walked past. Like I did not move. I was scared to move because if I moved, they were like, "Oh, she's available." I was
Oh my
not available this afternoon.
God. That is
So
that's dedication right there.
yeah, I was like, I didn't
Oh, wow.
move. When God told them don't turn around in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
I did not move. I was not going to be a pillar of salt for them people. No,
Sheba,
no.
what's
Hey,
up?
Aunt Nisi. Hey, Sheba. Where your son at? We can't find him.
Yeah,
Nisi.
we've been on the look for dirt,
I called and
texting, trying
right,
to
straight
call.
mannequin challenge for real.
Uh,
Um,
what that's about?
what else? What else been going on this week? That's
Husband,
pretty much
how's your
it.
husband
The girls are good. One of them is like really active at school, so I had to drive, like meet my brother halfway to pick her up one day. I'm like, bro, if y'all finna be doing these activities, y'all gonna have to find a way home because gas is not cheap to be driving all the way out to Fenton to pick y'all up.
doing? Yeesh! Oh my
So
God!
yeah, and so since there is a bus driver shortage, this day they didn't have an after school driver. So luckily for my village, she was able to do stay for her play rehearsal. But who child? I'm like, I'm
I,
gonna have to get her an apartment out there or something.
I don't know what the mannequin challenge is.
You know when you just stand and you just like,
Oh, I'm slow. My kids are looking at me like you didn't know what the mannequin challenge is.
like
No, I didn't
what?
know what the mannequin challenge was, but oh, well, apparently I was the only one, so it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
So how
myself.
was your week?
My week has been good. I have been entertaining my kids. They are in the background. And of course, the moment that I ask them to be quiet is when they're going to be the loudest. So y'all will probably hear them in a little bit throughout the actual live. But we've been going through it, having good times, bad times, hard times, all the other good stuff. There's some don't know where dirty is because
We don't know. We
trying
don't
to
know. we tried to call. He ain't answer. Two
yeah,
days. So I
two
don't know.
days.
Hope he
This
alright.
is day number 3.
Yep.
But we've been trying to I've been trying to teach them some lessons that only fathers can teach their kids, quite honestly, and hope that it begins to stick as they get older. But we'll see, we'll see. But other than
Hey,
that,
boo.
just chilling. Um, I took vacation so I could be with them,
Oh, that's cool.
and the week has gone by way too fast.
Aww.
Yeah, I gotta take them back on Monday, so we got 2 days left. What usually happens on the night before they got to go back, we get everything together so we're not late and make sure we got to be where we got to be on time. Uh, Make sure they get their food, get fed, and we try to just have a little extra fun. Our power went out
Mm.
because of where I stay. Our power went out and
So
made the
is it
best.
like a rolling power thing or?
Don't know. We never got any explanation as to why the power was out. It was supposed to only be out for 3 hours, and it turned into right on, because I appreciate the number one dad deal. I appreciate that. It turned into, I think it went out at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about a 12-hour thing,
Oh my God.
12 to 13-hour thing. So, but made the best of it. We went outside and hopped in the Atlas, lit a little candle to ward off the bugs or whatever. Pretty much if them lights. And we started talking about some stuff, and I began to explain to them what black holes are, like
Mhm.
galactic black holes, and what a white hole is, which is the adverse of a black hole, and
Mhm.
made sure that they understood that they are literally the epitome of the universe. They are stardust, and that's what makes them special and unique and beautiful and perfect in their own right.
Oh.
So we got to do that. So made the best of a bad situation and just spend some quality time with each other and tried to answer some any questions that they would have had. That was one of
Mhm.
those quick moments of literally me saying, ask me anything you want to so we can work it out and figure it out. So
That's what's up.
yeah,
That's what's up.
that's what we
I
did.
love candles. Candles are awesome.
They are, but I didn't want to be in the house in the dark. You know, that's boring. So we went outside and we looked at the stars and we started talking astrology because I'm a little bit of a geek, a nerd when it comes to that stuff. I love Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Word.
Met him before. He gave me a lot of information that I was trying to give to them also. My kids are ridiculously intelligent. They're a lot smarter than what I was at that age. So they
Mhm.
were able to pick up what I was laying down without me having to uh, switch up the lingo, as it were. So all in all, it was beautiful. It was wonderful. It was good. And then
That's good.
woke up the next day and kept it pushing.
You're right, because it was light outside. Use that good
Hmm.
old solar power.
Right. So we're gonna have to get a generator for the house or whatever. But I don't know. Well, I don't even know how much longer I'm gonna be out here. Truth be told, I really don't. I'm moving into a position to get ready to hang my boots up and become a full-fledged civilian. Like,
Would you even know what to do without your
yeah,
boots? Like,
yeah, I would. I'm doing it right now. That's why I started now, and I didn't wait until later.
I
Absolutely.
don't know. If you were not a soldier, I don't know what you like. What would you do if you were not
I,
a soldier?
I'm so much more than just a soldier. Remember, I'm an actor. I'm a singer. I'm a musician. Uh, a little bit of a nerd, so I'm
Oh,
a
but
public
being a
speaker.
soldier is a very big part of who you
Yeah, yeah.
are
It'll be 25
at
years
this
at the end of this
moment.
month. Yeah,
Yeah.
25 years at the end of this month. So by the time I'm finished, it'll be a total of 27, almost 28 years of Yeah, I cook too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm
Yeah.
still trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. So I got a little
I'm just
time.
waiting on my turn to be a housewife.
Well, hallelujah. If that's what you want to do.
I'm just waiting.
All right.
Oh, my little buddy just texted.
Yeah, second chapter is more than likely better than the first. So Thomas
Yeah.
retired a few years ago, and he's figuring it out, you know. And of course, it doesn't come with a little peril and frustration and little anxiety, but you know,
Mm.
it's a part of of living. So it's always trying to figure it out, and that's the best part of it.
What you mean never? I could totally be a housewife. I would be a really good housewife.
I don't doubt that, but I don't know how long you'd like. Well, your kids are a little bit older, so
A really good
everybody be out the
housewife.
house.
I did it for I
when
did it
you
for I
retire, when you retire, every day is Friday.
That's true. Hey,
Okay,
I can dig
all
that.
right, I can dig that for sure. That's what I'm trying to. That's how
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to be. Like I wake up. What's today? It ain't Friday. I thought it was Friday.
I wish every day was Friday. That would be awesome.
So, yeah, but I don't know. Your kids a little bit older. You'll be in the house. I don't know. We'll see. If that's what you want to do, and y'all had that discussion when he get back, I would like to witness that also. I would like to see that happen. I'd like to observe it.
Oh
That's
man,
all
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know. I don't know if I can actually do it. I did it during COVID. Then I was like,
That was a little
I
bit
gotta
different.
find it.
That was a little bit different.
Is it though? Because it was the
Yeah.
same stuff.
Eh, well, we'll see. If that's the way you're trying to go, we will see
I
how it
don't
works
know.
out
I
for
don't
you.
know. I don't think I'll be able to do it for long. I'll probably give it maybe a year or so, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go back to work.
Okay. All right. Or
That depends if I have a baby or not. If I have a baby, then I'm like, oh no, I'm staying home until my baby go to college.
for sure. Hey, what's going
Hey,
on, Battle? Welcome. It's been a minute.
I know,
Well,
Mr. Facebook.
all I would say is instead of going to work for somebody, work for yourself. Figure out what
Mm-hmm.
to do to work for yourself. Because I plan
Yeah.
on dedicating more time to this as whenever I'm retired. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going. I'm not looking to jump back into a position of working for anybody directly. I know, however, that we're about to actually go deep into a recession. Okay,
We've
I'm
been
back.
recessing.
I'm back. All right. So we've been in a recession, but we about to go deep into a recession, right?
Like we've been
Um,
recessing. I'm sick of it.
gas prices. So there's a lot of oil productivity that's about to be cut on purpose. Again, like last week, I was telling everybody to look up. I can't remember his name, his last name right now, but his first name is Jerome, and he's the chair. He's the head of the. I'm sorry, I'm focusing on my kids playing this game, but he's the chair of the Federal
Jesus.
Reserve.
Say
He's a,
that that adult ADD is getting
it
you,
is,
man.
it is. But
Jesus
he's the
Christ.
chair of the Federal Reserve, and he's pushed out a lot of information within the last couple of weeks to essentially shape what the economy is going to look like in the next 2.5, 3, 4, 5 years. And it's not a good look for the average American. Purposely, there's going to be $1.3 million that is cut. There's going to be purposely pushed out a statement of having a soft labor force, but what it really means is they're not going to be promoting or pushing for people to get hired on purpose. Again, gas prices are about to go back up through the roof. The housing market is the bottom's about to fall out. So if you bought a house within the last couple of few years, all the money you spent on it, right, you're not going to see come back directly. And a good case study for this, what's about to happen to America, is to actually go back and do a little bit of a research on what happened to the Japanese stock market and economy, and it never bounced back from it. And I think it was around the same time we had a market housing market issue about 2008, 2009. So
Hmm.
just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll be retired and every day's gonna be Friday.
All right. Well then.
Trying to figure out how to
Well
continue to
then.
work for myself and promote, like, push and cultivate a village. And I think we're doing a good job at it so far. I think we are.
Sounds good. So
So you gonna win?
my hair probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. It's doing what it wants to do. So we're gonna go back to
All right.
yeah. There we go. All right. All right.
All right.
So what's next?
All right. Football, schmutball, week 5. We going to week 5.
Every day. What you know about them double R's, triple R's?
Right.
Every
Double
day.
R. That's the St. Louis thing right there.
So St. Louis.
So these are the games we got coming up during week 5. I hope. Well, I don't know if anybody saw the Colts Broncos game, but it was absolutely horrible.
I heard it was a bad game, and
Oh
it was
my
like 6-9
God.
or something like that.
It was 12-9.
Okay.
It was slow going. It was hard to watch. It was like
Travis said it was sad.
It was. It was.
Okay, so
It
I didn't
was.
watch it.
It was. It
I
was
was
like,
catching up on my other shows. I was watching Atlanta.
yeah, no, don't go back and look for it. Don't look for any highlights because there were no highlights. The quarterbacks were garbage. Just being honest.
Nobody made a touchdown.
They kicked
But that
field
just
goals
shows
all
how
night.
good those teams were, right? That just means the teams are really good.
They kicked field goals all night. That's
The
what
teams
they
are
did.
really good, right? Because nobody can make a touchdown, right?
No, it's not that they were because they were really good. It's because both teams were just that bad.
Oh my.
Yeah, yeah. And I watched that doggone game, and I
Did you
kind
watch it to
of
the end?
I did. I even watched the overtime.
They went into overtime.
They went into overtime, and it was just.
So it was that low, and they went into
I
overtime.
don't think we're going to see a worse game this season from anybody. From anybody.
Weak. Like, oh, Uncle Russell. Don't you talk about Uncle Russell. You better keep that
Look,
man off your
and what
lips.
makes
he got the anointment.
I don't know.
You better not be speaking.
Who anointed him?
Don't be
Sierra
speaking
with her
on
goodies.
Russell. He got that anointment on him.
Mm-hmm. Whatever was going down was not okay. He couldn't complete passes. His receivers, his tight ends, and him, they were off. They weren't in sync. It was horrible.
Well, maybe Future sent him a stupid text and had his head out the game.
Hey, so just so everybody knows, we were about to talk about the Future and Sierra and Russell Wilson thing, but I think the topic we're gonna be dealing with is a bit better. But maybe that's what's got him messed up. Kind of like Tony Romo was messed up with old girl some years ago, right? When he was about to get married or just got married, whatever the case.
Hey, like, so what is going on with relationships this week? Like, Brady and Giselle breaking up.
Well, I don't know what all is going on in that. I wanted to read it, but I didn't because I am such a Brady hater that I'm happy for her.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Jessica Simpson.
Okay, yeah. So Giselle and Brady breaking up. Tamara and her guy Corey Hedrick, after 14 years are getting divorced. Like, what is going on?
I don't know. Right, he asked for
married that long, and then just like, nah, I'm done, Sam.
Look, we all got our breaking points, and
like,
I think
my thing, Tamara, he's done enough B movies, to stay in your good graces. The man is trying, girl.
Hey, I'm right here with it. Welcome to life. It is what it is.
God.
It is what it is. Hell, Nia Long even got cheated on. So,
oh my God, like I'm starting to question myself. Like, if you Nia Long can't keep a man,
that's
what's special about me.
Yeah, Nia Long got it too. Hey, and this is what it is. This is what it is. They didn't reach the end of their daggone business contract, and that's pretty much what Ray J was saying about the Kim Kardashian stuff, right?
Now that stuff, now that whole situation is messy. We gonna need a whole
Yeah,
nother to talk about all that. But yeah,
yeah.
that's a mess in itself. But anywho,
We still
football,
talking about
football, week
football,
5.
football, week 5. Just to put up the schedule again. Here it is, right here. Right. So we got Lions and Patriots. Who you got for that one? Uh-oh. Can't hear you.
Hello,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
There it is. Yeah,
Uh,
that's better. So I know
I
you're
got
gonna
the
go off the
Patriots.
uniform.
Yep,
I
I'm going
got
with the Patriots on that
Patriots. All
one.
right. Chargers and Browns.
Jaguars.
Wait, what?
Where
Oh,
you at?
Texans and
Okay,
Jaguars.
you
You
went
going
over.
Jaguars?
I was going down. Yeah,
All right.
Jaguars,
Steelers and Bills.
Steelers.
All right. When I disagree with you, I say something.
Okay,
Bears and Vikings. That's a rival.
Vikings.
I'm going with the Bears.
uh,
Excuse me. One more for the one time. Excuse me again. I'm gonna go with the Bears for that one. Seahawks and Saints.
Seahawks.
Okay, I'm with you with the Seahawks. 49ers and Panthers.
49ers and Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
I'm going with the Panthers. Titans and Commanders. Former Redskins.
Uh, Titans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dolphins and Jets.
Oh God, I hate both of these teams.
I do too, with a passion.
But I'm gonna go with the Jets, I guess.
I'm gonna have to go with the Dolphins. I'm gonna have to go with the Dolphins. They on a high right now. It's beginning of the season still.
Oh,
Falcons and Bucks.
Falcons.
I'm going with the Falcons because I hate Brady. And Chargers and Browns.
Um, let's go with the Browns.
No, I'm going with the Chargers. Oh my God. And
I
the
was gonna
G.
go to Chargers, like I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. The Browns. Excuse me. They the Browns. That's all I can say about that. The G-Men and the Packers.
I'm gonna go with the Packers. I am not a Giants.
The Packers.
We're going with the
Dang.
Packers.
I just got back in the comments. Okay, okay. I see where y'all at. I see where y'all at in the comments. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a huge chart. I'm gonna put it on green screen and then we'll keep track of the season and everybody's picks for that week.
Yep.
So on the next live, we'll come back with results and we'll publish them during the week and then hit the end on the next live. We'll see where we go from there. So yeah, okay, we'll just keep track of the season like that.
Okay.
We'll keep track of the season like that. I dig it. All right, so we're moving into the meat of what actually got this started, and just to give everybody a little background on how we came up with this topic, a Jazzman's blues, a Jazzman blues. This is I like this picture when I was I thought this picture was absolutely astounding, and it speaks a million words at once, especially understanding the history behind it and the era. But I'll let you dive into this first because you're the one who introduced the movie to me.
Yeah. So this is a surprisingly enough, it's a Tyler Perry film. It's not like his other films that he's come out with. There's no Medeas, there's no Mr. Browns or anything like that. This is actually y'all right. It was a great movie. It tackles a lot of issues from that era of time. It was a lot. I don't know what else to say. It was just a good movie, and if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. He said this movie is out of control. It was a really good, just a really good movie all around. It's about family and it's about Yeah, me and Sir had like an outside conversation about this movie. So, yeah, some of the things that stuck out to me was the family dynamic of the mom, the dad, and the brothers. Um, how, and one thing that also confused me in colorism, right? That definitely stuck out to me. Um, the light skin, bro. Like I literally thought that the dark skin boy was the father's son. Can you not hear me? I'm just hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody else that
Oh
probably
my God.
fireworks or something.
Damn, brother.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I understand all of that. I understand all of it. So, well, let's talk about it. So,
Yeah. Keep going. I'm gonna just put up a couple of pictures as we
yeah, so
we go through
in
this
this
and talk
picture you
about
see the young woman. I forgot her name because she kind of pissed me off.
it. Leanne.
Yeah, Liana, Leanne, somebody. And we see that Miss Liana is fair skinned. I'm looking at the comments. Uh, yeah. Yeah. Well, let's call her Bucket. They
We'll
did call
call a
her
bucket.
Bucket in the movie. And that was her nickname because they say her mama dropped her off like a bucket. There was, yeah, it was a lot. Um, Bucket met this young man he was a musician. His mom was a jazz singer, amongst other things. She was a laundry person. She was a pillar in her community. And she was also married to this good for nothing piece of sorry so and so. He wasn't. My mama might be watching. He wasn't crap. Okay. He was a drunk. He was an addict. He was the worst man you could possibly think of. He was abusive, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Um, he was horrible, and he got everything he deserved in that movie. But neither, anyway, we're not. That's going too far into the show.
I'm gonna add sir in a second here.
Um. So the brothers were obviously against. They were. They both had two different dads, and one was a fair skinned brother, and the fair skinned brother felt entitled because back in them days, that is just something that fair skinned people felt because they were treated differently if they were passing or house Negroes. But
And
yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
so with that being said, this next topic is something that the culture still deals with today, and it is colorism. So that's what we're actually about to jump into a little bit, and maybe on another at another time we'll jump into all the other different
Oh man, Manny was going through it.
all the other different dimensions that this movie actually held. But colorism in America. So just for those who don't know the definition of colorism, I went and looked up one. Colorism is a prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. I was speaking to my kids about this at dinner actually, and my
Mm-hmm.
daughter summed it up, and I asked both of them like, what do y'all think colorism is? And one of them said, uh, essentially, it's racism to people of the same race. That's paraphrasing what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, that's absolutely spot on. That's absolutely spot on. Like I can't go left or right, deviate left or right from that. Uh, so, and it's not just with the black culture. And I put colorism in America because I'm talking about all the different Americans that actually go through this. right? Now, of course, talking directly about subcultures in America,
Mm-hmm.
we experience it on a different level, on various different levels. So I am not a top. Before I get into my spiel, big brother, thank you for hopping on.
Thank you all
What
for
up,
having me.
sir?
Thank you
Yes,
for
sir, of
having me.
course. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's get what you got on this.
So this movie has pulled me in all different types of directions.
Mm.
Wanda and I actually did have our own movie critiquing committee. um, and you said it so eloquently that it just really mirrors the same issues. And I don't want to go off on a tangent here because I will, right? The problem that I have with the
That idiot.
society today is number one, right? We are still fighting and dealing with the same issues before and since the chains have come off our bodies.
Mm.
Voter
Yeah.
suppre- voter suppression, police suppression and repression, racism, colorism, just all types of things. But in the context and confines of this particular movie, Wanda did a great job in explaining it. It was a Southern family. I believe they were in Georgia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they were in Georgia, and I'm assuming I don't want to pimp, but I'm assuming because the mother had a natural gift for music, right? Her children became musically inclined. The father
Mm-hmm.
also played instruments, and it was just a good
Oh,
period.
crackhead.
It was a it was a good period piece to expose how the evils and the system of racism had not only infiltrated into the households, but how it followed people throughout their lives as they moved from the southern area. And I believe the Bayou and his brother and the manager, they went north, and Wanda
Yeah, they
could
went to
they
Chicago.
went to Chicago. So I
Yeah.
mean, you had these amazingly talented people, and just dealing with the rigors of stuff that we dealt with. Um, Willie Earl became a heroin addict. Uh,
So did
uh,
his son.
yeah,
His
well,
son.
right, well, Willie Earl was the son. I forgot the daddy name. He
His
might have
name was
been,
Willie Earl too, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
he was
yeah,
a junior.
yeah, he
It
He
was
was
might
a
have been
junior.
Big Willie. So yeah,
yeah.
Big Willie got high, Little Willie got high, and man, the movie was just, it was really, I don't get emotional, and I got to take my glasses off for this one. I'm not an emotional person, but this movie here had me, man. Cause first of all, and I'm gonna be quiet. I am, cause this
This is a
movie here was something else.
podcast. You're not supposed to be quiet on a podcast.
The mother, Bucket's mammy, and I'm gonna call her mammy because that's how she was acting.
That's how old she was.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
all the
Bucket
female
mama
viewers,
wasn't nothing either. She
the
was.
I'm
female
trying to find a
viewers,
picture of her, but
my apologies, but that's how she. And let me tell you how she acted like a mammy. It was revealed in the movie that she had left Bucket with her sleazy, low down, no good granddaddy, right? He's a whole nother issue. But her
yeah.
mother left her in pursuit of more comfortable economic situation. When that fell
Mm-hmm.
through, she came back to get Bucket to use Bucket as a pawn, a passing pawn, so that she could be integrated into a well-to-do family, which happened to be uh, the law enforcement family down in Georgia. And I was so mad because Bayou really loved her. They had a genuine love for one another. She accepted him. He accepted her. And let me tell y'all some podcast world. Bucket taught Bayou how to read.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
She made an investment in her lover. She taught him how to read, and baby, he took it and ran with it. He started
Look,
writing, reading,
man, he's
and
still upset about that.
yeah, and
Hey, yeah, that part right there, she
We'll get to that.
deserved.
We'll get to that though. We'll get
it
to
was just it was an overall good movie for those of us who are in tune and who are connecting past political and social issues with today's. And I think that and I can't speak for Tyler Perry, but I would like to say that he created this movie to show us the number one unchanging hand of the racial climate in America, but also for us to see how it has morphed and metamorphed into a different way of being executed and being placed upon us. Because racism is still here, but it's in so many different sectors and spectrums of our society that we need to be aware of it. So man, it was a very good movie.
So
Very good.
I do not, and I have not, and I haven't been like vocal publicly about this because I don't want to bash anybody from my culture in this stance. First off, uh, but I still respect his hustle, right? So I am not a fan of Tyler Perry for my own personal reasons.
Me
Right?
neither.
That could be something that we can talk about on the afterlife, right? But never been a fan of his. Peeped what he was doing, wasn't upset with him, just never been a fan of it.
Right.
And because all of his plays to me have been essentially the same thing, just with different names, right? There was at one point to me personally, again, this is just me, and I'm not nobody's professional. There's been a lack of creativity and the overall stance of general characterization, general storyline, uh, beginning, middle, and end, plot twists, on and so forth. All of the stories, they're very easily read through into from beginning to end to me, just to me.
Right.
And it might be because I'm from the culture that he was hitting at with those storylines, and I was like, I know how this finna end up. I know
Right. Right.
I know he's finna invoke Jesus Christ sooner or later. I know somebody. Anyway, I don't even want to go down that line.
No. Damn it. No good black man, strong, independent, stable black woman who got all the answers,
Yeah.
right? Some disenfranchised,
man.
I'm not mad.
disenfranchised kids. No,
Right.
no, I am mad, Wanda, and this is why I'm mad. Because the repetition of visions and the implication of the visual experience from movies, right, have a profound impact on our subconscious. Case in point, and I'm gonna be quiet. Waiting to Exhale was a very good movie. But if you also were tuned to the universal energy, did you see the decline in relationships?
Yep.
After that movie came, it was a serious decline in power struggles that was created. Watch this. Same thing with Colors and Menace to Society. Did you notice how the murder rate increased
Jumped up. It's
after
skyrocketed.
those movies?
These
But
began. Go ahead, big bro. My bad.
No, I'm just saying, I can travel to outer space standing in one place. Everybody ain't not gonna get this thing. You need.
Yeah, and that's the truth, right? Some of the stuff, even with Banging in Little Rock, began to become a propaganda tool. It was pushed through the media to begin to continue to show and paint this segment of America differently from a particular portion of America.
Okay, but we're talking about
So let me reel it back in. You're right.
No.
You're right. I don't want to go off on a
Thank
tangent.
you, Wanda. Thank you,
let's
Wanda.
reel it back
Thank
in.
you.
Let's reel it back in. So I've never been a huge fan of Tyler Perry, right? However, even with this movie, I wasn't the biggest fan because, like I told Wanda earlier, like spoiler alert, I absolutely I hate that shit.
There he goes.
I did not enjoy The Color Purple. Never have. I did not enjoy The Color Purple. Never have. Never will. It just ain't my jam. It's not. I'm sick of. Anyway, so at the end of the day, and again, we this is because our family went through a similar situation, right? With granddad having a club in Little Rock, Arkansas, us being in juke joints when we were kids, or the hole in the wall. We've been through that. We listened to Clarence Carter when we was kids about
stroking.
I'll be stroking, right? So there's a little bit of that where I'm just like, man, I'm not disregarding that it's a classic, because regardless of how I feel about it, it absolutely is a classic. It, like, I can't take that away. It's just not something that I enjoy. And also, being a person who I absolutely love the Harlem Renaissance period. Like I was telling you before, when it comes to history, I look at starting from 1860 and going back through 63, 65, Emancipation Proclamation, and then us actually getting freedom as a people, and then moving forward. The progression through the Harlem Renaissance is an absolutely beautiful progression of us as Americans, as well as us tying ourselves into American history and making ourselves relevant to American culture, and actually understanding that America can't do without us. There's no way that America can do or be without us.
Wow.
Especially if you look at the words of Elder James Baldwin, which is a whole nother topic for a whole nother time.
Whew.
Right. So with this movie, I actually woke up and I started watching it based off the conversation we had last night. So about 6:30, 7 o'clock, I was watching and I was
Mhm.
picking it apart, blah, 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 blah. But I could not get past the actual truth that it painted. Colorism as a fact. Like, wait a minute, like, we've dealt with this throughout our lifetimes, and like sir was saying, we still have to go through it. But here's my spin on it. Right, I understand the whole aspect of racism. Racism is a very much so real thing, but when we are talking about colorism, it's not somebody, an external influence. That's an internal engine that we continuously produce amongst ourselves. We're doing this to us, we're teaching this to our children, and nobody is influencing us to do that except for us. It's a very real thing, and it has long lasting implications for those of us who experience it and go through it. Yeah, we look good as hey,
Yeah.
I am like, if I could go back to any period, the Harlem Renaissance would be the period that I would need to be in. That's my attitude on things. Thank you. Look, seven trombones. I am anyway,
Yeah.
I'm all over it.
So
But
like
go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
like dealing with colorism, even now, like I like we when we talked about it, I was like, I've had traumas growing up because of colorism.
Hmm.
Like there for a very long time, I didn't like light skinned girls.
Oh wow.
I
But
didn't.
you got
I
a
wasn't
sister.
very fond of light skinned people because those were the type of people who made me feel like I was ugly, I was
Hmm.
less than, and because my skin is darker, I'm a chocolate girl. I am a darker skinned girl.
Keep
I
talking.
have 4C curl pattern hair. I don't have
Hmm.
wavy hair, or the pretty eyes or whatever. And like even like growing
I
up,
disagree to an extent, but I
I'm just
understand.
this is me. This is what happened to me. And like going to the schools that I went to, the like boys never really checked for girls that looked like me. They always wanted the light skinned girls with the pretty hair. But like now, everybody want a chocolate girl. Everybody want them a thick chocolate girl with natural hair. That's what everybody want now.
Is that true?
So
Audience, I'm not disagreeing with you.
I mean, like,
be,
where was y'all? Where was this love at when I was an African booty scratcher? Where was I at? Like, where were y'all at? Where was this love at when I was a little nappy head black girl? Where was the love at then?
So I'm going to put this up by Elder Zoranil Hurston. Go ahead and keep talking, but I just want to throw these up while we're talking about this. And I'll read it real quick. I found the Negro, and always the blackest Negro, being made the butt of all jokes, particularly, like Wanda was just saying, black women. If it was so honorable and glorious to be black, why was it the yellow-skinned people among us had so much prestige? Even a child in the first grade could see that this was so from what happened in the classroom and on school programs. The light-skinned children were always the angels, fairies, and queens of the school play. The lighter the girl, the more money and the prestige she was apt to marry. So on into high school years, I was asking myself questions. So that
Yes, sir.
Because so James is correct. As of in the present day now, we have taken the vehicle of racism in its multiple byproducts, colorism being one of them. And we are no longer being forced, per se, into practicing these toxic demonic behaviors, right? Although, just to add some clarity and texture to the conversation, we are all aware that because of our unfortunate circumstances of being enslaved and our proximity to whiteness, and as Gil Scott Heron explained, how the white man had a God complex and had set himself up to be viewed as God through the misrepresentation of European images, particularly in Christianity, right? This is how they presented, and that's why we were just talking about images. This is how they presented this image, right? And this proximity, so that we would desire to look like or be close to the group of people who were the domineering social class. So many years after we've been freed after Reconstruction, we now still, because of our subtle and subconscious worship of the proximity to whiteness, we still deem, or some of us still deem, lighter skin as some type of ennobling trait. And to answer your question, Wanda, to have a dark-skinned sister with natural hair now, see, that should have been the normal, because it was for me. I didn't like nothing like. Well, no, I'm gonna tell a lie. No. I mean, but what I'm saying is, this is what
I
I'm
got you,
saying.
big bro.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I was equal opportunity anybody. Let me say that. Dark, light, tall. So the point I'm making is, it's trendy to get a dark girl now. It's trendy because so much emphasis has been put on, or so much media coverage has been put on. Y'all just keep picking the light-skinned girl. The light-skinned girl getting all the rhythm. The light-skinned girl getting all of the attention. So I said, damn, man, we need to tighten up, man. We need to get some black girls.
No, but here's the thing is, like, Eric, like, it's always been taught that the light-skinned girls were the prettiest.
And they not.
The light-skinned boys were the prettiest.
And
yes,
they won't. But I'm saying, but they weren't.
I know, and I mean, and the thing is, for the light-skinned people, it put into their mind, oh, I'm light-skinned, I'm already top tier, and which gave them crappy attitudes.
Exactly.
And like, that's not cute. And some of them ain't cute. I mean, they're not attractive. I'm not saying that, but like to me, all black, all brown is beautiful.
Not me. I've seen some ugly ass everything. from white to everything
in between.
11:59.
I get it.
I've seen all of it. There are some people that just ain't cute people.
To somebody,
right?
It might not be my cup of tea, but it may be his drink of water over there. Like, I don't know.
And now that we're older and we have been, instilled with a deeper sense of self and self-respect, right? See now, hypothetically, somebody can go get them a light-skinned girl and be under the auspices. Well, I'm not with her because I equate her lightness to whiteness, and I feel so privileged to be with her. It's what you said, Wanda, is I like what I like because I like it, and that's why I want to love. And we have to continue to practice and promote the idea of blackness, for lack of a better word, of blackness as definitely culturally, right? Because see, that's how you break down the colorist stigma, right? When you look at blackness as all inclusive and disconnected from the proximity and closeness of whiteness, which is why passing was a real thing, because light people who looked like white people could get into their society and do things. Now watch this, because I try to be an objective historian. there was some positives, right, to this passing as well, because there were some places that people got into that other dark-skinned people couldn't got into, and they was able to nudge the door open just a
Yeah,
little
just a
bit
little bit. Absolutely.
so people can get through. It's when it becomes a measure of rule to establish yourself above others. That's when it becomes toxic, right? See, I'm a toxic house nigga when I turn my nose up at you and James because I'm in the house and y'all still in the field. But it becomes productive if I open the back door to the house and we all go in there and cut Master's throat.
So here's another quote by Elder Tom Burrell.
Oh, yes.
And it actually goes in line with what we were saying. Many of us boast of having little Indian, Irish, Italian, any additional blood in our lineage boosts our value. We find ourselves using a sliding racial scale somewhere between black and white, with lighter or whiter always defined as better. The color struck class war played out in black families, neighborhoods, social clubs, churches, colleges, fraternal organizations, and nearly every conceivable part of our culture. As the stigma progressed, class stratification within the black community became based to a large degree on the presence or absence of black features. It is a profound irony that the attractiveness rating was enhanced by the whiteness of hair, skin color, and facial features. Sadly, system continues today. That was in 2010. Very much so relevant to what we're talking about. And again, understanding. Yes, I was about to actually say that, sis, because we know about the brown paper bag test.
Lord have mercy.
Right?
Don't bring that up.
Specific-
Lord.
A very specific sorority that made that whole thing popular, right? And that even moves forward into a different society, quote unquote, of our culture, the boule, right? That you have to be of a specific skin tone with certain features to actually be regarded as valuable. And the more features and the less black you are, the more valuable you become. Right. So again, this isn't something that at this point in history, we have to have our kids go into a classroom and it's taught them. It's pushed in our music. It's pushed at home. It's pushed in our general readings. It's pushed on an everyday scale to where at this point, if we have to correlate this to the fields and the house Negro, right? The massa at this point can take a step back because he's got the slave that teaches the Bible, the slave Bible. He's got the people inside to work for him the way he needs to. He's got the one that will run and make sure that the ones in the field know that they're a little bit lesser than the folks in the house because they're closer, like Sir was saying, in proximity to massa than what they are to the field. And it's showing. It's showing through what we do as a subculture. And we have to begin to get away from that. Right? My four kids. Now, let me take it a few steps back because I'm saying this with a little bit of passion, fervency, and zeal, because this isn't a lesson that was missed on me either. Right? I remember when I would come back, when my mama would pick me up from Pacific, and I would go back to St. Louis. Well, I spent the vast majority of my time in Pacific, either playing in a garden, jumping down, hanging out through creeks, hunting, or at the city pool, at the community pool, swimming. And so naturally, as a young melanated man, as I'm absorbing all this sun, my skin's going to adjust to it, and I'm going to get darker. And one of the first things that I can remember people saying is, "Well, you got darker," and it never clicked. It never clicked, but that would be the first thing that they will observe. Like, to hell with the fact that I'm just grown 5 inches in the summer. And whereas I could only do layups, I'm now jumping over the rim. And where at one point I couldn't lift but 50 pounds, but now I'm lifting closer to 200 pounds. Never mind all of that. Never mind the fact that my cognitive abilities, as well as my speech pattern, as well as my in my connectedness with music and me figuring out who I am became a bigger and greater force and part of myself. Never mind all that, but we're gonna skip all of these other things that you might have begun to progress in, but we're going, man, you got darker. You probably need to stay in the house. So I bet you can't wait till winter come because you'll get lighter again in the winter.
Foolishness.
Look, I don't give a damn about getting lighter.
Right. Straight foolishness. Foolishness.
Yeah.
Who sits up and thinks about foolishness? That is foolish.
Straight foolishness. Never mind the fact that I've learned how to cultivate the ground, learning from my grandfather. Never mind the fact that my grandfather began to teach me how to do carpentry and plumbing.
Yeah, bump all that. You got darker.
But you still cute, but you got darker.
And let me tell you something, Wanda. All them cats that wasn't checking for you back in the day, baby. Watch this. Them Negroes is sick to their stomach.
They definitely.
They're dying. They're dying. They're dying.
Definitely. The inbox is not dead. I'm just saying that. But
Right.
the fact is,
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You silly, it just hit me what you said.
Yeah, I just caught that. Don't have me send a telecommunication to Mr. Wanda.
Right.
Don't have me.
Right.
Goddamn me.
no, trust me.
I know,
You ain't
I
got
know.
nothing to worry about.
I know. That's what I know.
Good over here.
That's what I know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, and that's beyond me because when I see it, I be like,
Yeah, like you.
nah, fam, I'm good. You know, because I mean, and like even now, like my best friend is a light skinned girl. Like I love her to death.
Right.
Like she's my soulmate, but my friend. So like that's my homegirl. Like, and I love her to death. But if I had met her at a different time in my life, I don't think I would have gave her a chance to be my friend.
Right.
Because I didn't trust people of their complexion.
Right.
I mean, you could have been the sweetest pie or the greatest person, but because of what happened to me, like early on, I was like, "What you want to be my friend for? So you can make fun of me?
Yeah.
So I can make you look better or make you look better?
Right.
Quote unquote.
Right.
No.
Right. That's right. That's why I'm glad. Go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just giving a side. That's why I'm glad I had the experiences in my lifetime that I had because, you know, I was extremely militant, right? And what I had to learn is that, you know, anything practiced past the point of balance becomes unhealthy. Anything, you know, you can put anything in that box.
Yeah.
So, had I not had this change of thought and this, you know, maturing of my mind and my spirit, I may have missed out on some great opportunities with, you know, some of my white counterparts.
Absolutely.
Had I kept that, you know, and I'm simply saying it's only when we look at proximity to whiteness as we compare it, which is evil, as we compare it to some type of constructed lack thereof within ourselves. You know, when we look at it in that frame and that terminology, right, it becomes bad. And the youngsters of this generation whom won't pay attention to it, right, will continuously to subconsciously perpetuate it, not the way that it previously was, but in their own particular way, right? That's why it's very important to talk about it so that these interracial and these interconnected lines, you know, don't become bigger than what they need to be. I'm gonna say this and be quiet. I was so glad when Chris Rock made that documentary. I mean, that thing hit me out of, it hit me out of left. I never expected somebody like him. And see, that's another thing. That's why I kicked myself in the toe. I never expected somebody like him to make a documentary like that, but I was so happy because he actually gave the people something tangible that destroyed those racial-based myths.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing about that movie. I had been on a creamy crack for years
Creamy
until I
crack.
saw that movie. Yes. Until I saw that movie. And I was like, and then so immediately I'm like,
Thank
okay, I'm gonna let the relaxer grow out. So I was wearing braids and like my migraine stopped. I quit having dry patches in my head. But I mean, even that, like I was able to embrace the beauty of my own hair. Not that
Yeah.
it wasn't my hair and I felt like it needed to be straight to be accepted, but like I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I possibly giving myself cancer?
Mm.
Right.
Like, and I'm doing it to myself because I was
Right.
putting my own relaxer in my head. I was dealing with the burning and the itching and the sores from leaving it in too long because I needed my hair to be super super straight.
Lord
Wow.
have mercy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but like after watching that movie, I let my hair, like I was letting my hair grow out. I cut the relaxer off, and so I was natural 7 years before I actually started my locks. And then I started my locks after I had got married. So I had my locks for 6 years. And I'm like, best decision I ever made.
Absolutely. I'm
One of
so
my-
proud of you.
One of the
Yeah.
best decisions I've ever made.
That's absolutely wonderful. One of my daughters told me earlier, almost a week ago, that she was thinking about growing locks, and she's at the age to where she can make that decision for herself.
Mhm.
You know, and
It's a process, but it's a beautiful process. Like I wouldn't change any of it. And I didn't go through like the super duper short phase because my hair grows. You know how our hair grows in this family. Hair grows
quick.
super duper fast.
Yeah.
So like I rocked a fro. I've had twist outs. I've had braids. I've done flat twists. I've done all this stuff. And then I just did when I got where to do my locks. My sister did my little coils. And the rest is history.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. I didn't know this. That's what's up.
Oh,
That's new.
I didn't
That's
know
true.
that. But now
So I'm
now
not sure who
the
this
only-
is.
I don't know. who
Usually it's Manny, but right now it's
that is. Is
just
it Manny? I don't see him on here.
I don't know.
So with this colorism
Mm-hmm.
and this proximity to whiteness, it was necessary for those persons in power, those colonial bullies, right, to first and foremost destroy the positive image of ourselves to ourselves, right? And that's why I always tell sisters, because
Absolutely.
good hair is the reason why my mama hair is natural now, why my sister, because I used to stay on them. I say, Mom, you got to watch it one. And my mother responds well to the truth. When she sees something that's true, it don't take her 10 days. She own it. She say, oh, hell no.
Yeah,
So,
baby, when that relaxer ate through that aluminum can, I was like,
absolutely.
Oh wow.
That's right. And you wonder why a lot of old black women got dementia and all this other stuff related to these poisons. Lye is a poison that you put in your hair, but it's all in the name of trying to inch closer and closer to the proximity of whiteness.
Because again, even we do this, unfortunately, even when it comes to economics. If I tell people, listen, there is a deep recession coming, right? And I can give stats, I can give facts, because it's something that I look at in my spare time. It's almost a hobby right up under me, studying different religions. Nobody really wants to listen to what I'm saying, but
I hear you.
I know you do, because if I bring somebody on here outside of myself that is one of my brothers from a different culture, right? And he'll say the exact same thing that I'm saying. More than likely, he learned it from. Oh, killer! It got you.
That was tequila. It was just tequila.
More than likely, he might have learned it from me. But if he says the exact same thing, it's valued as truth. We do that to each other, unfortunately. And that, so with that being said, I'm going to pull up this last quote from Elder Marcus Garvey. And
Uh-oh.
even Bob Marley to put this in some of his lyrics. And nobody, like Bob Marley's a genius, was a genius of his time, but he also studied and looked after and thought about a lot of the other geniuses that was in the circle. So Marcus Garvey, the black skin is not a badge of shame, but rather a glorious symbol of national greatness. If we, as a people, realize the greatness from which we came, we would be less likely to disrespect ourselves. We're going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery because whilst others might free the body, none but ourselves can free the mind. Mind is your only ruler, sovereign. The man who is not able to develop and use his mind is bound to be the slave of the other man who uses his mind. Do not remove the kinks from your hair, remove them from your brain.
Gosh almighty.
Marcus Garvey.
Dude, I could remove these kinks from my head if I wanted to.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
that's right. And I always ask black women when, you know, I present an alternative way
Sky?
of looking at themselves. I say, well, who told you your hair was nappy?
Our grandmothers
No, but I'm saying
and mothers.
I say that question to challenge the thought process behind it, right? In watch this. In comparison to what? So that's what that's what the question really is asked for. Somebody told you your hair was nappy in comparison to what though?
That's always.
And every time I hear sisters with that one, it's like a light turn on. They say, you know what, sir, you was right. Yeah, because see, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I'm just telling you, this brother, I'm gonna be black till the day I die. Black people have to do something awfully terrible. But I'm talking about, you know, so see, some people approach their blackness with, you know, I'm not gonna be, you know, hey. No. This is a sickness, it's a disease, and we need every person fighting to cure this illness that we got, because it's an illness. I don't like
mental disease.
I don't like Joe because he's dark and I'm light skinned and I think I'm the shit. Well, why do you think you're the shit? Because you're light. And what does light have to do with it? Oh, your proximity to whiteness? Oh, now we get into the root. Because see.
So I want to pose this question to you guys. If you were of the lighter persuasion able to pass, would you?
Yeah. With this caveat, I'd only pass if I could be a bridge for everybody else. That's the only reason or way that I would be able to do it. If I could Sun Tzu it, essentially, if I could walk in with people looking at me in a specific fashion, open the door for others of my culture to get in, and then on the backside be like, oh, you thought I was, oh no, this is who I am. But thank you for giving me what you thought my definition was, but this is who I am. I'm telling you who I actually am. That's the only way that I would do it, is if I could use it as a strategic movement and placement to better other people. That's the only way.
Okay. That's a fair answer. Sir?
You know, I always got to doctor my answers up.
Just say it.
No, it ain't no just say it, because see, here's the thing. If I was a dumb imbecile, then yeah. But with the spirit I got, I wouldn't make it. Light, dark, or whatever, I wouldn't make it.
Okay, so now that just like I thought about it and
I wouldn't make it.
I would definitely try. I would try my best. But the moment they got to talking that black bitches this or niggas that,
oh yeah, then we got it.
Out of character. Yeah. I would definitely be out of character.
You'd have been on the first tree in the neighborhood.
And then I'd be hanging on a tree next to my dark skinned brothers. So
Yeah, because I start pointing shit out.
I just wouldn't be able to. I'm sorry.
I'd have to start pointing some stuff out. Like, didn't you get breastfed by a woman?
That part.
But I digress.
That part.
Man, your mama didn't breastfeed you.
And they was scared for the black woman to feed them because they thought it was gonna make their babies dark too, but they didn't have no choice.
Hey.
They liked that chocolate milk. They liked it.
You was stupid.
So it is until the day.
But I do it as a strategic movement. If people, so everybody that's on right now, if you have not read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, I highly recommend going out and getting that book and reading it multiple times from cover to cover.
Put the title of the book in the comment and the author.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're about an hour and 12 minutes in. So
all right, I had to put that in there.
We can either do a after live.
I got a few minutes yet. Ladies and gentlemen, is it okay if we do an after live? Yeah, I got time.
They love their daddy. That's right. I ain't seen Lil J all night. Where Lil J? I thought he was gonna be ran in there.
He was over here earlier.
He did. Fat boy, where you at? Where you at, big guy?
I'm talking about if that ain't James Twin, I don't know.
Come here, my man.
Yeah, Buggy.
There he is. Come here, say hi to the people.
Lil J.
Stand up.
Hi, Bubby.
Stop and stand still. Say hello.
He missing teeth.
He missing these. They gone.
You missing your E and L.
There you go, my man.
That's his nickname, Bubby.
Yeah.
Okay, so he lost his E and F. He's about to get 8 and 9. He's gonna go into numbers now. His letters are leaving.
Yep.
You about to get your big boy teeth, man.
He told me that not too long ago, didn't you, buddy?
Mm-hmm. You about to get your big boy teeth, which means those are going to be your last set. So you got to take really good care of them, okay?
I had to make him go brush his teeth today. He was the only one. I said, who brushed y'all teeth today? He looked around because his sisters was like, I did. Yeah. I don't have a toothbrush. I got 1,000 toothbrushes in my bathroom on purpose.
Yes, sir.
I shop at Costco.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yeah. Trying to trick me. Huh? Little joker. All right, my man. You'll come back on later. Go play.
Now, Wanda, let me ask you this, and James too.
Yeah.
I'm going to address something that wasn't shown in the movie. It wasn't even an issue, but I could tell it was a theme. Do you think the white manager was stealing money?
He was stealing money out of her mail.
No. That was the postman. I'm talking about the white manager.
Oh, of course.
Y'all think so?
Of course, the Jewish guy. Absolutely.
So
that was common practice.
No.
That was common practice.
Watch this. He wasn't stealing it based on a hatred he had for Bayou. He was participating in white privilege.
That was a common practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did not address that in the movie, and it did not cross my mind. So
yeah.
See, you can't put nothing past these
people.
This infection, this planetary infection. You can't put nothing past it. It's a virus, it's an infection, and it is here to make everybody sick.
I honestly think, and I've had discussions with my older sister about this. She's a psychologist, if anybody wants to know. But I honestly think that racism, in and of itself, is a mental illness. It's nothing more. Well, I mean,
that's an interesting stance.
It's a deep-seated mental illness. It's a movement of psychosis.
But it can be taught.
And how many? So can narcissism.
But is
Hey,
being narcissistic a mental illness?
It got to be, Wanda, because it unnerves and disrupts the flow of human connectivity.
Okay, we got to get through this. I got 7 minutes left on my tablet so I can get to my charger so we can do an afterlife.
Sorry about that. I had to talk to the
That's all
kids.
right.
But mental illness, yeah. What sir was saying, anything that begins to disconnect you from an interconnectivity, even if it's a learned behavior of your direct observable type of thing or person, which humanness, when it begins to like separate you from that, there's a mental debilitation that's happening. You take a dang it, I'm losing words right now because I just got upset with one of my kids, so I'm trying to rein it back in. Take a murderer. Take a person who has a godlike construct of themselves. Right?
Jim Jones.
These are both debilitating mental illnesses. The exact same way that racism, it's a learned behavior, but it's done at such an early age, like narcissism, that the continuation of it builds a godlike complex, puts a focus on value. It separates you from being the exact same type of thing as another human and puts you on a different platform. It begins to separate you from your fellow human. And so it becomes a mental illness to me.
No, it is. We are so, and I'm not saying you think this, Wanda, but we are so conditioned to perceive diseases as innate and inherent that we fail to recognize that diseased behavior can be taught as well. Case in point, one of the greatest diseases on the planet that came out of human degradation and evil, ethnic cleansing,
Genocide
is a mental disease.
Yeah.
Eugenics, another one, is
These
a disease. It's a disease.
This is nothing more, nothing less than a movement and dimension of trying to place yourself and those who look like you and justify your faults as godlike characteristics. That's all it is. So
yeah, they're gonna learn today, baby. They're gonna learn today.
We can continue that on the afterlife since my kids gave me permission to do in a little bit. But before we get to the afterlife, we got to get to what's got you effed up. Yeah. And here is. Hold on, I got.
Hold on. God.
What is that? Some funky McDonald's?
You gotta move there.
So McDonald's has reintroduced the adult Happy Meal.
That's horrible. That's got to be a joke.
It's a joke,
but
hey, adulting is hard nowadays.
Oh my God.
These people need to be saving themselves. Why did no, let me be quiet. Because we supposed to talk about what got us effed up.
What got us effed up? What got us effed up? Big bro, let's start with you, man.
What has me effed up, other than the normal global disintegration of humanness and love, particularly, it's a lot of stuff got me messed up. Vladimir Putin got me messed up.
Took the word, yeah.
How do you think we're going to give you a Russian terrorist that wanted to kill Americans in exchange for a woman who made a mistake when y'all let the white girl on the volleyball team buy more than Brittany Griner and y'all let her go home with a slap on the wrist? Did anybody know about that story?
We'll talk about that. Let's dive into that on the afterlife. I'm gonna keep my TikTok up for.
What's got me messed up is anything that will have me messed up. It's all got me messed up. You know, I'm like old Scrooge. Everything got me messed up. And I'm done.
All right.
Don't laugh at my foolishness.
Wanda, what got you effed up?
I'm not going before you no more.
No?
I said I'm not going before you anymore.
Oh, because of last week?
Because of last week.
I don't remember what I did last week. My bad.
don't?
I brought it
Oh,
all
boy.
down, didn't I? I brought everybody down.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You didn't bring us
I'm
down. You
gonna
just,
end us on a funny note. I'm gonna let you tell us what got you effed up this week.
Look, I had some things on my mind. I got to stop reading. I peruse through. I read stuff, but I'm also a little bit of a history buff, so I look at stuff and I'd be like, wait a minute. So since we're here, I'll go ahead and say what got me effed up, right? And it's in the same lines as sir. How are we letting a couple of people, a couple of quote unquote sovereign country leaders dictate to the rest of the world that we could potentially be in a nuclear crisis that has the potential to devastate all of humanity? All of humanity, literally, not figuratively. I don't care what side you want to choose, conservative, Republican, or anything in between. This is a point of contention, an issue of basic human life. You're letting two people dictate to the rest of the world. We might have a nuclear issue on our hands. We might have to obliterate the world because we can't agree to disagree on some shit that really has nothing to do with us. Ukraine war is not a war for the United States of America. That's the first thing I'm going to say. The second thing is the rules that apply to NATO apply to NATO. If a country is not a part of NATO, those rules do not apply. Very similarly so, I don't care what religious order or sect you belong to, the rules of your religious sect and organization belong to you and the people who believe in those rules and nobody else. Why? Why are we at a crossroads to where we have two world powers talking about nuclear devastation and nobody's doing anything about it? That's what's got me effed up. My
Now,
kids.
I'll let you go first. Now, do you see why I let you go first?
you ain't right, Wanda. You're not right.
Sheesh.
I just wanted to throw that out there. That's what got me effed up this week. Nobody said anything about this.
You're right.
I got you, Manny. I see you. I'm gonna bring you on in a bit.
Hey, so what's got me effed up this week? I had a great week up until today at lunchtime. It was my fault because I shouldn't have went to Arby's, but I went to Arby's.
That's trucker food. Ricky told y'all that.
I went to Arby's and they didn't put any cheese on my sandwich. And I asked, right, why, like, how the hell you gonna have a beef and cheddar with no damn cheddar? Like, where they do that at?
Arby's.
At Arby's?
Yeah.
So, Arby's on Lindell, count your flipping days.
Wow. Wow.
And y'all got me effed up this week.
Okay.
Lindell and what, Wanda?
Lindell and Sarah, across the street from the McDonald's, next door to the firehouse sub.
That's where you should have went to.
Don't tell all they business now.
Yup.
Wow.
Manny Lugo, the man, the myth, the musician. Go ahead and get in on this.
I gotta put my tablet on charger, or I ain't gonna be able to get on the live. So,
all right.
Fat.
And we want you on the live.
On the afterlife.
On the afterlife.
Yeah.
So I'm also gonna put the afterlife in my TikTok for the viewers that have been on for a second. Because there are quite a few people that's been looking at that also. So
okay.
All right, Wanda, go ahead with your final thoughts then.
As always, guys, don't forget to brush your floss. Super duper important. All the time. Brush and floss. Don't forget to smile. They're free and they change lives.
Oh, that's true. That's true. All right. Big bro, what you got? Final words.
My final word is to continue to strive on a daily basis to change, grow, evolve, and be the best that you can be so you can bring the best of who you are into the world.
Oh, that's cute. I like it.
Manny, you want to jump in on his final thoughts, bro?
We can't hear him. Nope, still can't hear
Nah,
you.
we ain't got your vocals, man. We hear the music. We ain't got your vocals. We hear Sir playing, but we can't hear you.
Go
Bobby,
ahead.
you playing? Lord.
Yeah, hear you. We hear you. So my final thoughts are just, as always, it's easy. It's easy to give a smile, and it's easy to be the epitome of love. So walk through that door, be that, regardless of the anxiety. Somebody needs that in their lives. So help them out with that. Show love, be love, and give love. So those are my final thoughts. In the wise words of Russell Simmons, thank you for coming out. God bless.
Good
And
night.
One time for the one time. It's the family bloodline.
It's the family bloodline.